While Rajuta and Rahul's yard transformation continues, we make the 30-minute drive to Soldier's Delight Natural Area, which is home to 39 rare, threatened, and endangered plant species. And let me tell you, as soon as we get there, the horticultural travesties are clear as day.
This is f***ing nuts, man. I can't believe this grass right here is miscanthus. That's the invasive shit we just pulled out of their yard. Invading the surrounding countryside.
What?
Could be the first step of what ends up being a larger invasion.
Scanthus. Out in the woods, escaping captivity.
Yeah, they got people planting shit, no regard to ecology.
It's that mindset that, like, nothing you do actually matters. It's just, like, how it looks.
Yeah, none of this matters. It's just greenery. It's just, you know, but that's because we're raised in a society that views plants as nothing more than pretty. It's either pretty or it's not. There's no context for ecology. That's what we're trying to change here at Kill Your Lawn. Get people to stop being nimrods and pay attention to the context of the world that they live in. Start observing it, you know? Though it sounds like it'd be a reference to some horrible venereal disease, it was actually observations by British soldiers patrolling this area in the late 1600s that led to its name. And Soldier's Delight doesn't need invasive plants moving in. It's got enough problems with native Smilax rotundifolia, known as common Greenbrier, which, due to fire suppression and poor land management, seems to be crowding out everything else. It's so weird that this is, just from an ecological standpoint, that the Smilax is so dominant.
Greenbrier stems can photosynthesize like leaves, crazy. So it has a longer growing season than other nearby plants, and its thorns protect it from getting totally devoured by forest animals.
This f***ing Greenbrier, what a pain in the ass.
Smilax evolved to grow in all kinds of habitats along the East Coast, but out here in what's known as the serpentine barrens, native plants are uniquely adapted to survive in soil infused with minerals from serpentine rock.
You could see a paucity of forest here. It's because the soil is quite toxic.
Okay, so turns out excess amounts of magnesium and iron and low amounts of essential nutrients like nitrogen inhibit plant growth in many species.
Now, serpentine got here via an ancient subduction zone. A subduction zone is what happens when a piece of oceanic crust dips back down towards the mantle to be recycled. But on its descent, little pieces of that oceanic crust get scraped off, such as serpentine, and that's exactly what happened here. This is all serpentine rock.
That's the geological piece of the puzzle. The botanical piece comes from the power of native plants to adapt and survive.
Evolution being what it is, some plants have evolved to tolerate this chemical toxicity. And not only have they evolved to tolerate it, they've evolved to outcompete other plants which may not.
So this solidago, this goldenrod, this is a different species of goldenrod, of solidago, grown in Rajuta and Rahul's yard because we're on this serpentine kind of meadow prairie, and this is like a hardy little right here who's just hanging on.
It's a different species of rad. It doesn't get that tall because the soil's kind of toxic. Serpentine basically causes speciation in plants. You got, say, a solidago that grows on non-serpentine soil that abuts a patch of serpentine soil. It's just continuously dumping seed onto that serpentine soil. Most of the seed that lands there and germinates is not going to be able to tolerate that serpentine soil, but eventually, one out of however many thousands of seeds that do germinate on that serpentine soil will have a mutation that enables them to deal with the innate soil toxicity.
That image is blowing my mind, man, of the border of serpentine and a different kind of soil, and those solidagos on one side, on the non-serpentine soil, just doing their thing, throwing seeds down, and it's just generational after generational adaptation. To tie all this back to the yard, we hear that a lot from our producers. It's great that Aaron and his crew are planting native plants that are local ecotypes, meaning they were grown from local seeds and plant material. This preserves local biodiversity and gives these newly planted natives a better chance of thriving where there was once only the bland uniformity of the lawn.
Make it look a little random so it doesn't look all cookie cutter And that's going to be better for, you know, how they end up growing in too. If you offset them a little bit, they get more root space to grow in.